Are you looking for good sound with expandability? You may want to take a look at the new RYOBI. This is the brand new RYOBI One Plus 18 volts, really hybrid because it will run on 18 volts or plug it in, and it's their Bluetooth Link Verse speaker or Bluetooth Verse Link speaker. But anyway, it expands in multiple areas, and we'll show each of that and talk about the features. Let's get started. We've got the brand new RYOBI PCL601, and this is their 18 volt One Plus Verse Link stereo. Now, you might remember the Verse from the clamp-on speakers. We've got them over here to the side. We'll bring those over in here in a moment. That's basically the linking system where they will connect to one another and create as much surround sound as you want. And the link system is actually the connection system that connects you to the other link boxes and storage racks, things like that. So the link is not the linking of the radios, but the link is the connection to the boxes and their wall system. So it has that, as well as the Verse system, which links it to the other speakers or connected to the other speakers. So we have a Bluetooth speaker. First off, when you lift this thing up, it's got guts. It's a little bit heavy to lift up, and I'll weigh that here in a second. And I say that to mean that many times if you've ever lifted a speaker, a lot of times the guts in that speaker, the magnet in that speaker really sets the tone as to whether it's a quality product. So first off, this thing's not just a really light system that offers, you know, some low performance. It's actually got very good sound, very good deep sound. In fact, we get a 50-watt subwoofer, and then we get two different 15-watt speakers on either side. I'm assuming these are two-way speakers. I'm assuming we have a tweeter in the middle because we do get some decent high-end sound. And then again, we get that 50-watt subwoofer here on the front. I don't know what size they are, but 50 watts and two 15-watters. Now, this is powered by, look here on the back, the One Plus 18-volt battery. However, if we pull that out, we see right here, we have a plug where we can plug in an extension cord. Now, use your brain here for a second. Don't ask me whether when you plug this in, if it will charge a battery. Why not? Well, because you can't plug it in unless you have the battery out. So no, this is not a battery charger because, again, use a little bit of knowledge here, and if the battery's in, we can't plug it in. So therefore, if we can't plug it in, we can't charge the battery. So no, it's not a battery charger as well, but it is hybrid technology where we can run it on any 18-volt battery, or we can plug it in and get infinite sound. And by the way, that's a 6 amp hour battery, I believe. Yeah, that's a 6 amp hour, which they say 12 hours of runtime on a 6 amp hour. I would assume that's probably on a low setting, and probably up higher you're going to get less. But anyway, you're still going to get, you know, half a day or half of a 24-hour day, so 12 hours on low on a 6 amp hour battery. Here's the 12 amp hour beast. So those of you that ask, yes, it will fit in there. However, you're going to get some stick out there, and that's why the 6 amp hour goes well in there. But even the 8 amp hour is about flush with the side. So you can get up to an 8 amp hour and still be flush with the outside cabinet of the speaker itself or of the radio. I think they actually call this a stereo. So you get stereo sound, obviously, and you get hi-fi sound, as well as you get a FM radio built into this as well, something the other speakers don't offer. So we get FM radio and Bluetooth technology. Now we get a nice handle here on the front of it, which makes it nice to pick this up and carry it. And then it folds down out of the way as well. Also up here on the top, kind of makes it nice where you could either stack these things on top of one another, because you can see kind of the markings are the same as the footprint under here. And then again, as I mentioned earlier, we have the link system, the push button under here to unlock it from the link system. And then we even have some rubber feet here as well. So that footprint right there is the same as the footprint on the inside of this here. So that would be stackable if you needed to. Also, one thing really cool is there's holes right here for actually hooking up bungee cords. So whether you wanted to strap this thing down to your boat, you could do so, or whether you wanted to put something up on top here and then strap it over the top, you could do that also. So we have 4 different places to hook in our bungee cords. Now let's go ahead and power this up. Hold the power button down for a second or two. It's going to power up. It's going to jump straight to Bluetooth. So now we're connected to my phone actually and connected to Bluetooth. So once you select it and once you turn the radio on, so once you turn the radio on, it's going to look for any previous links on the Bluetooth side, and you can see there the top one says Bluetooth clamp speaker or RYOBI clamp speaker, and the next one says RYOBI link speaker. Up now it just switched to clamp speaker as well. And we'll forget those here in a moment, but I want to show you something based on that. We also can see here that we have, it says primary right here. So as I mentioned, we can link these to the other RYOBI Verse speakers. This could be a primary, or it could be one where it's actually looking for another primary and something else is driving it. I would recommend if you had this and the other RYOBI clamp speakers that you would use this as a primary because you get some more features on this than you do on the other speakers. One of the things is, if you see right here it says Hi-Fi, if I go here into the settings button, I can hold that down. And now you see I can select from Hi-Fi to Bass Plus, Treble Plus, and Voice. And so basically those are the 4 preset EQs or equalizers that, and I think it's kind of self-explanatory. If you're listening to, let's say, talk radio, you may have it on Voice. Although sometimes that gives you kind of a tube sound, if you will, and that automatically selects after a few seconds. Or you can go to Hi-Fi, which is kind of the best all around. If you want some, some good thumping, then the Bass Plus, or you want to hear those highs, you can go in the Treble Plus. But I pretty much have left it in the Hi-Fi mode when listening to this. I have run it for a while, and I'm quite impressed with the sound that we're getting from this, especially for arguably a job site speaker or for a speaker that you're going to have in the garage or have in the shop. It's got some pretty full sound. And the cool thing is when you have those parties, link it to your other clamp speakers. And by the way, if you don't know about the Verse technology, you can link to other speakers, whether you had multiple of these or multiple of these, up to 100 of them. The cool thing is you can have your phone up to 250 feet away from the primary that's actually delivering that music. And then from there, 125 feet away to the other secondary speakers as well. And that's not just one time. That can be in addition to. So that could be in a series of 250 feet away, then 125, and then another 125, and so forth and so on. So you could have this a mile away and have 100 different speakers set up and still syncing all that sound to all those speakers. Now we're going to make sure that we're connected to our link stereo, which there we are, RYOBI link stereo. So make sure that YouTube doesn't flip out here. We've got some royalty-free music, and we'll just go ahead and there we go. That's in Hi-Fi. Get a little deeper bass. Oops. I accidentally switched to, there we go, let's go back to Bluetooth. Some more highs. Kind of sounds like we're in a can on the Voice. And I think the Hi-Fi kind of offers you that best all around. Now let's do something here. When I turn this one on, I think this is the one that was previously synced to my phone. It's taking precedence over here because actually I had that in a previous setup before I connected this one. So it's now playing to here. So let me do something. So obviously these two aren't synced together. So I'm going to go into my Bluetooth settings, and I'm going to say disconnect, and I'm going to say forget this device.
Bluetooth disconnected.
So now we should be back to here. It probably paused on my music. Yep. So now we're back to here. I'm going to show you how easy it is on these other two clamp speakers that I've already connected to here. Turn this on. So searching for primary. It's already connected. It's already connected. So we're getting that three-way sound here. However, on this one here, it's blinking really fast. It's looking for a connection. Let me pause this to make sure you can hear me well. So my point here is it synced to these two really, really quick because I had already synced it to these prior to. This one I disconnected from it on purpose because I wanted to show you something. This literally took, after I turned it on and it said searching for primary, it took about 1.5 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, where each of these connected. Now, when you initially connect these, you may be getting frustrated because sometimes, and let me just go in here. So even though I don't have music playing, this is the primary. We can see this here. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say break connections.
Searching for primary.
Now searching for primary. This may take 10. Well, that took shorter. So this made me a liar. But trust me, when you first do this, when it's first searching for that primary, this one may take 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, maybe even a minute to see those. So each time you set it up the first time, it may take a little bit. I don't know if it's searching for a digital ID or something because that happened much quicker. And I purposely deleted that from everything and redid this because I wanted to see it. But maybe somewhere it has that digital ID in there and now it's just going to sync much quicker or link to that Bluetooth much quicker. Now I can go in, I can go back and play all 4 of these speakers. So I've got this playing, I've got these others playing as well, and it's so easy to connect. Now watch this, here's the cool thing. All 3 playing, right? We got green lights on all here. Watch this. Turn off the primary. Power's off. All of these others turned off as well. Now, turning it back on, that's not going to be the case. If I turn this back on, it's not going to turn these others back on.
Primary transmitting.
But let me start my music back up. But as soon as I turn these back on, so all 3 of these are already synced and playing within just a few seconds of turning that back on. So if you're a RYOBI fan, you already have the 18-volt 1 Plus platform of batteries. This is a great addition to your shop. Even if you're a worker, a professional, whatever, something like this, they're kind of home-style products or they're accessorized products. This is a great system for you. Again, you get a lot of full sound and you can kind of set it up anywhere, whether you have 1, whether you have 3, whether you have 5, 10, or 100. This is going to run you $200, I think $199, and should be available in July with a 3-year warranty as well. So look for it at homedepot.com. We'll have a link in the description as well. And by the way, also, you can control the volume here. But you'll see here, I can also control it from my phone or from the Bluetooth device it's connected to, and even from the watch. And let's give you an idea here what kind of size we're talking about. I think you can probably get an idea, but it's about 18 inches long. It's about 8 1/4 inches tall. And about 11 inches deep or wide, however you want to say that. And with our, I believe, 6 amp hour battery in here, 17 pounds, 2 ounces. Take the battery out, I would say probably 14 pounds-ish. 15 pounds, 1.5 ounces without a battery. So there you have it, $200, and look for it in July at your Home Depot or on homedepot.com. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And hey, if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you absolutely hated our RYOBI speaker review, well, then give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.